So please welcome NSA past president, CSP, and 2014 Cavett Award winner, Chris Clark Epstein.
So just about a year ago, I was sitting out there and Scott Friedman opened the envelope and I heard my name and I jumped up and hugged my husband and I started to make my way up on the stage, and there was a first-timer sitting at one of the front tables. He had no idea what was going on. And I looked at him and I said, "Is my hair fluffy enough?" And he said, "Yeah, I think it's okay." And I came so wherever he is my hair fluffy enough? Because I'm still trying to figure that out. When Cavett comes to live at your house, it's a pretty magical thing. He weighs a ton. He sits at the top of the stairs into our house. He's the first line of defense if somebody tries to break in. You may want to know that Cavett had the original statue and he hung his keys on his arm. And for those of you who don't know Cavett, the reason the pose is this way is this was his pose when he spoke. I had the good fortune of knowing Cavett. There are legendary stories about Cavett writing people letters to cab drivers, new speakers, and saying, "You will make a wonderful speaker." He never wrote me one of those letters. As a matter of fact, my closest encounter with Cavett was at a lunch meeting at my first convention when I had volunteered to stand at the door and collect tickets for the meal, and NSA staff, as being conscious of our members' money, said it's really important. Please don't let anybody in the luncheon who doesn't have a ticket. And I take these kinds of responsibilities very seriously. And so I saw this elderly gentleman walking towards the door with a lovely white-haired woman on his arm. And I said, "Do you have your ticket?" And he started doing, what men do when they are trying to, and he said, "I don't believe I have the ticket." And he looked at the woman and he said, "Miss Trudy, do you know where our tickets might be?" And she said, "Cavett, I don't know. You were supposed to keep track of them." And he said, "I believe they're up in our room." And I said, "I am so sorry, but I am not allowed to let anybody in the dining room without a ticket." And he said, "Well, would it be all right if Miss Trudy just sat in this chair over here while I go up and get our tickets?" I said, "That would be fine. I will keep her company." And he said, "I'll be right back." And there he goes walking down the hall. And one of the NSA staff people came walking by, looking the color of the white napkins that we had on the chairs when we saw Dale this afternoon. And she looked at me and she said, "What did you just do?" And I said, "Well, you told me not to let anybody in without a ticket." And so he didn't have his ticket. She said, "Do you know who that is?" I said, "No, I don't, but he seemed like a very nice man." And she said, "That is Cavett Robert, the founder of this association." And I said, "Oh, rats." Now, I am living proof that you can refuse food and sustenance to the founder of our association and still be president and still get his statue to take home. There are many people in this room who have the Cavett statue somewhere in their house. Strange places, I might tell you, but they have them in their house. And if we can bring the house lights up a bit, it would be great to ask them to join me on the stage to welcome the newest Cavett winner this evening. So as you see these people get up and come to the front, these are folks who exhibit the Cavett spirit in our association. association is blessed with people of talent, people of tallness, people of elegance and grace. Some even have hair. It's kind of cool. But they're all here. Thank you. Would you like some? Yeah. What they have in common is a desire to serve each other in the association, and that truly is the spirit of Cavett and the reason that we gather and do this celebration. Most of you never met Cavett, never saw Cavett, but we have a little bit of video that will tell you a little bit about the man.
Folks, we all agree on this great concept. I know not one won't disagree with it. That is that a person's wealth is not judged by the length of his car, the number of rooms in his home, his bank account, or any material things, but rather by the things he writes indelibly and the things he engraves deeply in the lives of others.
In 1978, the NSA Board of Directors voted to develop a new award to honor Cavett. In 1979, Cavett was honored with the first annual Member of the Year award, which later became the Cavett Award. NSA's most cherished award is presented annually to the member whose accomplishments reflect the outstanding credit, respect, honor, and admiration of NSA and the speaking profession, and whose actions in terms of sharing and guiding and inspiring other members most closely parallel the illustrious career of Cavett Robert. And now you know why the Cavett Award was sculpted in that position. The real Cavett just naturally posed this way. In 1980, Cavett announced Bill Gove as the honoree of the second annual Cavett Award. Cavett, announcing the Cavett Award winner, became a tradition.
People always kind of thanking me, saying, oh, how wonderful it was that you started. I mean, I've often thought of this. A watermelon, when it's grown, they say weighs over 1 million times as much as the little seed. And I might have been kind of the seed that helped start the idea. But we brought in some of the finest people in the world, and they all want to help everyone else put that right. Caring, sharing, hugging, loving. It's like one big family. It really is. And it's going to continue to grow and grow. I'm just amazed every time I go to a meeting to see how new people come in and how you come in. Well, so-and-so was my mentor, and he brought me in, and he's teaching me. And as long as we try to help each other, and we call it that we want to not fight over the pie, but just make a bigger pie and we all get a slice out of it.
One of the great privileges of receiving this award was to have the recipient's name announced by Cavett himself. While Cavett is no longer with us, through the miracle of recording, he can still set us up as he has always done so masterfully. Take it away, Cavett.
Every 12 months, I have the privilege of enjoying the day of the year come before my own family. I love every one of you. And I think you can see the way things have grown that this family increases in size and in affection every year. However, there's one principle that I always try to follow, and I never want to avoid it. It's definite, unequivocal, and can't be changed. I never want to say but two things at this meeting, and that's the first and last name.
So it is like the Academy Awards and the Emmys and the Tonys, and tonight the Cavett goes to Gary Rifkin, CSP.
do they have like a script for me down here? No? Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Picture it. Picture it. It is your very first NSA national event. For some of you, that was 30 plus years ago. For others, 3 or 4 days. For me, it was February 1998, San Francisco, California, Winter Conference. And when I got there, one of the first things that happened is that the president came out on stage to continue to talk about her theme, leaving a lasting legacy. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm gonna move, oh, that's much better, thank you. You all know I'm a ham, I gotta work the stage. So, out walks Glenna Salisbury, and within about a minute, I knew I was home. This woman of grace and presence and passion represented everything that speaking is all about, and I knew this was where I wanted to be. And then shortly thereafter, a keynote speaker came out that for me was the second best speech I'd ever seen, only surpassed by the question this morning that Ruby asked. Who was the speaker that you saw that you knew you had to speak? And mine was Maya Angelou. The next best ever was Chris Clark Epstein. I saw her speak at that conference and I knew this was it. And she asked a question during her speech. Now I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember it exactly, but the question was, do you remember where you were when you got the call? Now some of you are thinking, yeah, the call to speak. No, she was being very literal. She meant, do you remember where you were when you got the call that Cavett Robert had passed? And I, for the first time, was hearing the name Cavett Robert. I believe I am the first recipient of this amazing award that never met Cavett Robert. So the only way that I got to know the spirit of Cavett was through Chris and through so many people in this room that taught me about Cavett and Lynn and Lee and everybody around here. And so I want to take us on a quick journey. I can't believe I'm doing this. I want to take us on a quick journey. I want us to think about who is your Cavett? Who is the person that makes you want to be a better speaker? Who is the person that makes you want to be a better participant in this awesome association? I bet there are many. I'm going to list a few. One of the first was Lenora Billings Harris, who took a chance on me in 1999 and said, I have an opportunity for you to be on the main stage if you want it. Well, duh. And she asked me if I would do the invocation representing the Judaic tradition at the lunch. And I got my shot to be on stage. And I did a little prayer. Some of you will remember it. There was no challah in San Diego. No, it was see, I'm already forget. It's one of the sands in Texas, San Antonio. And so I did a prayer over a bagel, and it worked just fine. But seeing that, Mark LeBlanc, who was going to be doing a future winter conference, asked me if I wanted to lead the Jewish service, and that's where it began. But it also began because I always went up to people and said, what can I do? How can I help? How can I get involved? Because I know from the words of the amazing Joe Charbonneau that you have to give before you get. But what I also know is that every time you give, you get. There's so much to learn. And so Scott Friedman was going to become the president. And he said, what are you interested in doing? And I said, I'd love to serve on the ethics committee. He said, really? And I said, yeah, because I want to help people understand the power of being a good person and of being ethical. I learned that from Grandma Sarah. Some of you know my Grandma Sarah stories. And so Scott said, sure, that would be a great role for you. And he put me on the ethics committee. But as he became president, somehow somebody got a hunkering that maybe I would be willing to say yes to something else. And they said, would you like to help out backstage? And I said yes. And for the next 7 or 8 years, I had a variety of roles, but the one that was the most powerful was getting a chance to be backstage, both as a general session concierge and the backstage manager, all the while learning about my craft and getting better at my craft and getting better at understanding this spirit of Cavett. So who's your Cavett? Who is that person? Some of the other people that have been my Cavett for me, Lisa Ford, who reached out to me and said, we want to try something different for the member memorial. Will you put together a group of people to sing for the memorial? How about Seasons of Love? Can you pull that off? And so I picked, a couple of singers that I thought might be okay. Willie Jolly, LaDonna Gatlin, Janice Stanfield, who, by the way, is another one of my Cavetts. Janice Stanfield, you rock my world. And Patrick Henry, and oh my gosh, where are you, sweet Southern woman? I'm forgetting your name. Jane Herlong. Oh my gosh. So we had an awesome time. The point is that I got the opportunities because I was willing to take them, and because I always asked, what can I do? Two more of my Cavetts from this amazing staff, Gemini Babb and Nikki Harris. Oh my gosh. The rule for the last couple of years is learn to say no. I can't say no to those two women. And you know what? They know it, and they don't take advantage of it. Thank you. Oh, I still can't believe I'm here.
Gary?
Yeah, am I running out of time?
No.
Oh.
No, I have a little surprise for you.
Okay.
Gary, I think you probably understand that there were some people who would have given anything to be here tonight. And because life is what it is, they couldn't. But as an indication of where you come from and your ability to stretch, can you believe that with some prompting, your father made a video?
Okay.
And I would like you to watch it.
Cool. Yeah, my mom, just so you all know, my mom is recuperating from surgery. So, okay, where am I? It doesn't matter, does it?
You can look anywhere
Hi,
you
Gary.
want.
This is a great day for you. You're being honored by your peers. And there's no greater achievement to get the respect and honor of those people that you work with all the time. We wish we could be with you, but as you know, that's not possible. But you'll make us very proud, and we want you to know that you're always in our hearts. We love you.
However, there is somebody here who's live. Take a look. Now, Jack.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not crying, but he is. Oh, this is my nephew, Jack. Well, a lot of you already know that. And especially the youth. This guy has been a youth leader. He's sung on this stage. Just stay with me. Because I got to finish this speech that I'm making up on the spot here. It's kind of freaking me out. I got some people I can't forget, though. Two of my Cavetts are, so let me back up. Cara Tracy, you have taught me so much about what it means to make an event significant and shine. And I just love that you were the first to teach me that you're allowed to say no, but you can't say no to me. Because the rule was, are you still going to work backstage? Well, only if Kara asks, I have to. And then my buddy Rick Metzger, who is not here, he couldn't be here this week, and he's fine, and don't worry, but he has been my rock all these years. He's one of my best friends, and so he's one of my Cavetts. And then my two mentors, Randy Pennington, who saw something in me in my chapter and reached out to me and said, I want to be a part of this. I want you to be a part of my business, and brought me in and taught me the ropes and did so much to make me successful. And then I know this is no surprise to you all, but but that woman over there who is not just my mentor, she's my friend and she's my family. And Chris Clark Epstein, I just adore you, and he adores you, and he adores Frank, because Frank buys him, drinks and stuff. Oh, there he is. Two more groups, and then I'll wrap up. I'm so sorry. First of all, the Colorado chapter, you guys rock. All right, you rock. But I have to say, people say, oh, the best chapter in the country is Colorado chapter. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, you guys are second, because there's nothing better than the folks from NSA North Texas. These people, and I'm going to tell you right now, you come to a meeting second Saturday every month, you will be so welcomed. You will feel like you want to join our chapter. That's how awesome it is. And I have loved being a part of this chapter. I have loved the fact that our chapter is so involved in NSA. You can't move without finding somebody in NSA North Texas doing something at this convention. It's amazing. Christine Cashin and Michael Hoffman and all the folks. I mean, this morning we had to put stuff out on the chairs. I said, just tell the chapter. They'll get folks here. And they were all here at 7 a.m. to put stuff out. That's what this chapter's been about. It's amazing. And then just over 5 years ago, when my business was not doing so well, something amazing happened. And a woman who I had known but didn't know how brilliant she was took me in and made me part of her business, made me part of her family, and made me part of her life. And Candace Fitzpatrick, you are amazing. You help me help people, help brilliant people shine in ways that I never could have before. And I love the fact that I get to use my talents every day, and that I can't imagine ever retiring from this business because of you. So thank you, Candace. My family, my folks, my grandma Sarah, my brother who is in heaven, who's hanging out there just waiting for all of us to get there with his cigars ready to go, who gave me the biggest gift of all by letting me be a part of this guy's life. And I'm just overwhelmed with this group. I'm overwhelmed with this group of Cavett recipients who I am now a part of. Jeannie Robertson, Lou Heckler, oh my gosh, Patricia Fripp. You guys are amazing. I've looked up to you, and now I'm one of you. This is really cool. So I'm gonna close with this. You know what? I'm going over here to this guy. And just because I know some of you are going to want it, you're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You feel like, oh, he's heavy, heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. I am so humbled with pride. My heart is swelling inside. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Thank you, NSA, and please thank your Cavetts. Thank you.